I just gotta say that this episode of Naruto Shippuden, it felt so chill, and it truly felt that, even though, yeah, this is technically not really canon, but it kinda is because it's by the novels, you know, it's an adaptation of the novels, and I believe they were blessed by Kishimoto, so to speak, to be, you know, made and whatnot, but it still felt as though this truly was canon to the events of the manga, and of course everything we've seen up until this point, because every time you focused on the characters we know and love, you know, Sasuke, Taka, Orochimaru, Yamato, Kakashi, it felt like, wow, yeah, you know, this could have been written straight out of the manga because it really was focusing in on these characters. They were staying in character. They weren't acting totally wacky or any filler type of deal. And again, it's based off the novels, and I'm sure the novels are more so trying their best, or were trying their best to be kind of in sync with how the anime or how the, you know, original manga was written and stuff like that. But it definitely felt so good because it was like, I feel like this is truly a great experience in a sense of it's canon almost. It really feels canon because when you focus on these characters, it's like continuing where we left off. It's like, you know, when you get the scene with Sasuke and Orochimaru talking about everything that happened since the war, when Kakashi's looking at the letter that Sasuke sent them and questioning when will this guy return, it all feels as though it's just picking up right where it left off. And then of course we have the overarching stuff, you know, around everything, but as far as the center of everything with the characters in particular, that's what I felt is driving this arc and this episode, of course, in particular, because it's like whenever you get the characters again that we know and love talking and stuff like that, it truly is just a great experience. It really just is enjoyable, and at the same time it's really just feeling like, yeah, this could have been out of the manga. So we start off in the beginning with Sasuke and Chino and that other dude, and they're talking or whatever, and Sasuke is just kind of being typical Sasuke in a way, like, yo, I don't really want to talk, just stop talking to me or whatever. And we get the revelation that Chino is a lot older than she appears to be. She looks like a little girl, but apparently she's older than Sasuke. And then of course the other dude is whisper the reason why she's older or whatever. So there's probably something to do with either her having an ability. I mean, does Naruto ever really go into like them having disabilities, like she's a dwarf or something like that? I highly doubt that. It's probably something to do, maybe she has a Kekkei Genkai or something like that, and that's why her village was raided to begin with, something along the lines of that, why she's a little kid. And of course, you know, it'll be revealed later on. And again, I feel as though when I'm watching these episodes like last week and this week, when we focus in again when Sasuke goes over to see Orochimaru, it feels really awesome. When we're getting those elements, I don't know if maybe it's just because in particular they're new characters and it's going into this new little arc that we're having with Sasuke. It's kind of like, okay, you know, it's cool, whatever. Let me see something more about Sasuke. So that's how I felt when we was getting those bits in the beginning of the episode. It's like, yeah, okay, all right, cool, you're a little, yeah, whatever. And it was interesting. We didn't even get like one scene of Naruto in the entire episode, which, I mean, is not unheard of. You know, there's been arcs or whatever without Naruto really being focused on, but I thought we would have at least get a little bit of him. But no, the closest thing we got to that was Kakashi getting the letter after he sent it out, like, hey, you know, come back, we need you right now. And nah, bro, he ain't coming back. So it definitely showcases that Sasuke really didn't come back that often. I mean, at the very least, like, he sent the letter saying, yo, I'm going to continue. I found out some information, but I'm going to do it on my own. I'm not going to gather up the troops and go back to the Leaf to, like, no. So you can see that Sasuke, even though he's still cooperating with the Leaf, he's still keeping up his word. Ultimately, he's not running back. So it's definitely showcasing that Sasuke really did stay away. Like, he really kept on his journey, even though he was still technically being a shinobi for the Hidden Leaf. But the episode overall just gets immensely more interesting once Sasuke goes to seek out help from Orochimaru to find out what's going on, get some information from him. You start off with seeing Yamato there, and immediately, I ain't gonna lie, I started laughing at myself. I'm like, Yamato, like, so they're actually giving you fucking lines again and you're relevant? You finally got out of the tree, bro? So seeing him there, I was already kind of getting a chuckle, but ultimately it showcases something that I'll talk more extensively in a bit. That Orochimaru, even though he's technically free, I mean, they don't have him in a dungeon chained up, or they don't have him dead or something like that, he's still being watched and monitored very closely. I mean, Yamato's like, hold up a second, bro, like, you ain't going to see shit unless you give me some legit reasons. And then of course after Sasuke says, yeah, I'm doing it for the Leaf, and he's like, oh, okay, you can go in. But that showcases that subtly Orochimaru really isn't free, like, he's not free to just come and go as he pleases. He's constantly being watched. And you gotta think for a second that it gotta be hard for Yamato to take on this mission, and that shows that even though he's a minor character and we made fun of the whole situation, whatever, ultimately he's a strong dude, because you gotta think Orochimaru was the one responsible for kind of fucking up his life to begin with. I mean, he had him in the chamber and, you know, doing all the experiments, and he gave him some cool powers, giving him the wood style or whatever, but it kind of fucked up his childhood and stuff like that. He didn't even know who he was, if you've seen, you know, all the backstory and stuff like that. So you gotta think, Yamato's probably thinking, if only I could kill this motherfucker. Just Leaf, give me the word and I'm chopping his fucking head off. And with Sasuke finally seeing Orochimaru and stuff like that, I ain't gonna lie, another thing that was going through my mind is it showcases the crazy and immense development as far as power goes for Sasuke from, you know, even the start of the series till now. Like, remember in the end of part 1, he went to Orochimaru for help as far as to get stronger. He was like, this dude is immensely strong. If I go to him, I'll be able to acquire the strength that I need in order to take out Itachi. And now this dude could pretty much swat him like a fly. Like, Sasuke is just way above him. So now, even though he's seeking him out, it's not necessarily for power or anything like that. It's like, yo, you got information. There's no high right now, bruh. Like, just give me what you got and I'm out of here. Funniest part of the episode, hands down, the Taka reunion. And again, what I continuously am talking about in this video, that when we see the characters we know and love, that's when it gets really interesting and exciting. And seeing them kind of palling around and stuff like that, seeing Taka, seeing Karin going crazy, saying, is that little bitch your fucking girlfriend? What's going on? Like, that was some funny shit. And again, one of my favorite bits of the episode, but definitely hands down my favorite part of the episode was the solo scene with Sasuke and Orochimaru. When they were on the boat talking alone about how all of them are free and it's crazy, like, that's when I felt the episode was at its highest, the peak of the episode, because again, it's going back into the main plot, them talking about after the war, how Orochimaru, he's technically free. I mean, he's not, you know, in a cell again. Also, Kabuto, he's the head of an orphanage. And then Sasuke, you know, he's roaming free as long as he, you know, completes missions for the Leaf. But at the same time, Orochimaru continues to say, like, you know, even though we're free, we're not really free. I mean, I'm being monitored completely. Like, I can't do shit even if I wanted to. Kabuto, he's under what Itachi put him under. And that's, I like that little line when he threw it in there, like, do you not trust your brother's abilities? You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, he put him under some fucking mind fuckery. And then he's even looking at him like, yo, you're doing missions for them. So even though they're free, they're not really free. And the way Orochimaru put it, it kind of shows that the Leaf is still up to their same kind of dark and shady shit. They're basically alive and free as insurance. It's like one day another threat will come, which is kind of making me wonder if that's any type of foreshadowing for the distant future of the Boruto story. But there's always a new threat that's going to come, and they're keeping us around just in case they might need our help. It's like, they don't really give a fuck about us. They're just keeping us around. You never know. They might need my brain. They might need your muscle. They might need something that Kabuto knows. So it was kind of like a dark thing. Of course, Naruto isn't doing that, which I love that he even mentioned Naruto in that particular part. Is like, yeah, your friend might not be that way, but, you know, the hidden Leaf, the foundation and everything that is around it are the ones that are thinking in that way, which it kind of makes the whole innocence of Kakashi saying, yeah, they only kept you alive because, you know, I vouched for you, kind of seem not so innocent. Again, of course, Kakashi cares about Sasuke and all that good shit, but they kept him around and didn't kill him or imprison him because of their own selfish needs. And then after that scene, again, we go back to the main plot, which is, again, where it feels like, it's okay. I mean, the best part of that particular scene was Orochimaru tricking Sasuke into having that fight or whatever. Is like typical Orochimaru, and that's what I loved about this episode. Honestly, the characters were the characters that we love. They weren't wacky or different or any nonsense like that, and they were still progressing with this, you know, plot, whatever, which honestly, the plot isn't much. There's a guy, he has a Kekkei Genkai, and he's collecting Kekkei Genkais, and he's trying to get all of them, and he's doing all this crazy shit with the zombie-looking shinobi and stuff like that. But aside from that, it's like, it's okay. Can we get more of that Sasuke and Orochimaru talk? Can we get more of Taka? Like, can we get more of Yamato being a creep watching over Orochimaru? Can we get that? And I gotta lie, I was kind of hoping to see that fight go on, like that Sasuke versus that one dude in the arena. I was like, ooh, this would be sick, but it was like, hey, I fucked up your cape, and yeah, there's a zombie there. Like, damn, I wanted more action. But as a whole, I'm not even gonna lie, this episode, I was starting off, like, you know, when we was in the beginning with that little Chino girl and stuff like that, I was thinking to myself, it's an okay episode. Once we started getting into more of the characters, which is what I feel as though is driving this entire arc right now, our characters, that's when I was like, okay, this is getting really interesting, and this is a great addition to Naruto Shippuden. I'd much rather have shit like this, adaptations of the novels, than like, you know, stupid, silly ostrich filler or some shit like that. So definitely appreciated this episode. I felt it was a very good episode. I just wish that there was a little bit more of an interest in the, you know, overall arcing stuff regarding the villain and stuff like that, because it's like, it's okay, it's cool. I think the Kekkei Genkai collecting is kind of neat, but Sasuke is such a god right now that it's going to take cheap tactics in order to really do anything to him. So that's where I'm standing with it. It's still a very good episode. I loved it as far as just being a Naruto fan, feeling like, yeah, this is what probably would have happened after the end of the manga if Kishimoto kept writing it. But let me know what you guys think about this. First of all, what was your favorite scene? Did you feel as though this could have been canon? Also, what do you think about what Orochimaru was saying, that even though the three of them are free, which you got to think about it, Kabuto is a big part of starting the Fourth Great Shinobi War. Orochimaru killed the third Hokage, fucked up the village, killed one of the Kazekages, he's still roaming free, and of course Sasuke attacking the 5 Kage summit and fucking killing Danzo and shit like that. Yeah, they all three should be in prison. Do you think they're just keeping them around as insurance? Do you think that is more so that they care? Like, honestly, I think the Leaf still, at the end of the day, they're shinobi, especially the old timers and shit like that. That's their main priority, and their prerogative is, okay, we might need them someday, keep them fuckers around, but don't make it seem obvious that we're doing it that way. And what do you think about the threat of this arc so far? Do you feel as though the way I'm feeling regarding that, the characters that we know are really interesting, and I'm liking what's going on in that regard, like Sasuke and Orochimaru teaming up and stuff like that, but like, it's not that interesting regarding the lightning villain that they're supposed to be, you know, seeking out? The overall thoughts of this episode and this arc so far, 2 episodes in, and I ain't gonna lie, I am really enjoying it. It's good to say that about Naruto Shippuden, especially considering this isn't based off the manga, it's off a novel, but it's still really exciting and enjoyable, so good shit there as well. I'd say about 8 to an 8.5 for this episode. Oh, not to mention real quick, the art and animation as well. Really good stuff there. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.